It appears that Meghan Markle feels that her one-time employer could have made a huge mistake in letting her go. Absolutely, and here is why. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. Yes, it's raining. Yes, it's the first week of Wimbledon, and we expect it. Of course we do. It's nice now, though, isn't it, if you do go to Wimbledon? And I know that, not many are lucky enough to go, but at least now they have a roof. Can you imagine all of those years ago when the heavens opened, you just had to sit there because you weren't really allowed to leave, or else your seat could be taken. Simple as that. Also, somebody asked me on the comments, how much are the strawberries? Strawberries are around about £8. I don't know what that is in dollars per little punnet, Ice cream, 4.95. I know. And you're not allowed to take your own stuff in, your own flask or your biscuits or anything like that. They prefer you to buy the product when you're in there. I bet they do. I can't afford it. You know what it's like. Times are hard, aren't they? Back as ever to your breaking roll story of the day. What's interesting here, as we know, with Meghan Markle, she was recently let go from that 15 million plus deal with Spotify. Basically had a huge backlash against her. And I did say at the time, I thought it was a bit harsh. But what I mean by that is, people misread that. What I actually think is it's bad form of the bosses to come out and publicly say it. There is a better way of phrasing that. They could have said simply, she didn't fulfill the contractual agreement, which really will be more of the deal. I mean, I think that's far more stinging than to just simply call her talentless. They spent a lot of money and they basically said, we'll give you all of this money if you come and sign for us. So, she took it, didn't deliver, and now they've got egg on their faces. But according to a very good source, Meghan has been at that writing notepad again. She loves a letter, doesn't she, Meghan? Absolutely. We know this because she's tried to write to the king and anybody, in fact, Taylor Swift. It seems that she'll whip out that pen at the drop of a hat. And this is because she wanted them to rethink about the axing of her podcast series, Archetypes. This is because she reminded them that, in fact, Archetypes was an award-winning podcast. I know, you'd forgotten, hadn't you? Oh, yes, way back in December, lost in all of that excitement of other things knocking around, including the Netflix documentary. Meghan had won the People's Choice Award for Best Podcast. It had bypassed me as well, yes. Get my teeth in a minute. But it had bypassed me, seriously. And you do kind of think to yourself, well, clearly, if they'd have thought that was anything worth saving and it had won some awards, they would have changed their mind. Even though a letter, no doubt in calligraphy, from Meghan could not save the axe falling on the Archetypes podcast. And as they've said so many times before, it appears that Meghan is ploughing ahead and looking for a new home. I think what she really should be looking for, on a more serious note, is signing better people, less of Meghan, more of them, and simply make it more compelling to listen to. And perhaps, for the first few episodes, maybe download it for free. Now there's a bit of free marketing advice that Spotify didn't want to share with you, Meghan. It's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of a rainy London.